Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast. My name is Adam Cohn. I am your host. Joined by my co-host, Dan Welch. Dan, what's up, buddy?
Oh, not too much, Adam. How are you?
Good, thank you. This is going to be arguably one of the quickest podcasts we have ever done. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you all know every single time one of these podcasts drop. I have been forgetting to start off the podcast with that. Dan, are you ready? Here's our analysis.
Ready,
Play
ready,
heroic,
Freddy.
play vitality. Bye, everybody.
Yes.
This is an easy slate. But as always in the podcast, Dan, we're going to go to the previous day's winning GPP lineup. And as of this recording, it's still, Draftkings hasn't, it doesn't look like they've paid out yet. And it's still looking as live. But with that being said, the current number one winning lineup, it's a solo takedown, which is actually rather surprising with how chalky the plays were yesterday.
Yeah.
Or this past slate. So here's really interesting. We said play either 3 Spirit or 2 Spirit or 3 Gambit or 2 Gambit and then 1 of Fury MIBR. Right? Like that's how we were attacking the slate.
Yeah. I gave you my thoughts, so that would have been you saying what my thoughts were.
Right,
But
I
I
did a
believe
solo
I
pod
had.
yesterday, didn't I? Oh, by the way, if everyone could just stand up where they are and just give Dan a big congratulations, by the way, on his terrible Dignitas call!
Thank you. I just took a bow. Um,
Oh, okay. It wasn't a terrible call, but the first day of the Blast Premier Spring Showdown 2020 was a day of upsets. You and I both thought OG could upset. A lot of other people we've talked to thought OG could upset. No Astralis are not old. Um, but Dignitas, I just no, I didn't see that coming. I I think as someone said on the, I think it was the analyst desk, if I'm not mistaken, that it was like Dignitas was the organization where Swedish players go to retire, or it was something like that. And
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
that sounds about accurate for what we've seen from Dignitas for the last year. They're just out there having fun.
Yeah. Um, I mean,
Talk about your
they've got
boys,
the
because you were on the podcast. You have to talk about your boys. Talk about your call, dude.
like. Where did it come from?
Just talk about it. Talk about your call.
Oh, I felt pretty good when I saw it happen. Not only because I got it right, but because I actually won some money as a result. Um, I had a I did not play much Dignitas except for one single entry. It was a $27 single entry, and I had 3 Dignitas, but with Device and the Captain. So I veered off my OG pick and then went for Dignitas to try to hedge my risk a little bit.
You and
But
the
it's
other
still in,
5 to like 10% of the people.
yeah, but it still worked out. I came in like second, I think, so I tripled up that $27.
Yeah,
And then on
you
my
had a
other entries,
really
I
good
won.
day.
Yeah, it was like, what was it like 4 or 5x maybe on.
I
Um,
still profited, and I was tilted. I profited,
yeah.
and I was tilted. I don't know why I was tilted.
Um, I can tell you why. You just hang up.
Sorry, I'm here. I apologize.
No, I thought maybe you knew what I was going to say and you're just, you were
I did
done
not.
already
If you could please tell us again. Sorry about that, folks.
because straws are old, and I was right. And
They're not old.
I won't ever say that again because I don't want to kill that little bit for us. But
They're not
no,
old.
I think um, I think you were a little bit too high on liquid, and I know how that feels. Like
Me and the
I remember
90 other percent that played them.
I remember when complexity beat Navi. And in the Discord, when we were back on another Discord, I was adamant about there's no way complexity was going to beat Navi, blah blah blah. And lo and behold, they swept Navi. And
Complexity or at
uh, I
least
look,
could.
well, this was when they're kind of like coming back, and I was actually pretty still new to the whole to Counter Strike in general, or DFS Counter Strike, anyways. And I'm pretty sure Pap was the one that said, "But don't they have a chance, Dan?" And I'm like, "Nope, no chance." And then they won, and I felt like a shithead because I told that, I basically like touted them, and then
Listen,
you
for
know,
what it's worth, Dan. The 5 to 10% that play Dignitas, congratulations to the 5 to 10% of people that play Dignitas. I was not one of said 5 to 10%. I thought Team Liquid was going to win 2-0. I didn't think it would be like a handily victory because give Dignitas a little bit of credit, but it still should have been a 2-0 victory. Elise, even on the interview desk when he was doing the interview, thought they were going to win 2-0. They did their research. They went out and watched everything. They were prepped and ready to go for it, and what happens? They get swept 2-0. If you were to tell me Dignitas beat Team Liquid 2-1, I don't think anyone is like super tilted. It was a sweep. The nuke map 1 was embarrassing. It was
yeah,
embarrassing.
that was bad.
I understand it's not one of Fallen's more played maps, but that was embarrassing.
Yep, there was no coming back from it either. I think. Um, but I mean, we're talking. We got Lecro, we've got Heap, who's new, but I mean, he's good.
Heap had a game.
Yeah.
And we
Then we've
know
got
Lecro's
World
good.
NIP guys.
We know Lecro's good. I don't know why Lecro's never been given a better chance. We know Lecro's good. I mean, wait a minute. Wasn't Lecro on one of the Fnatic major winning teams? I think he was.
Um, I'm not sure, but I know that he was on NIP when we got into this.
It may have
But
been NIP. I forget what it was. He was on a major winning team, I think. I thought it was Fnatic. I could be wrong. Anyway, congrats on the OG call. Congrats on the Dignitas call. I look forward to playing Dignitas against Team Spirit, which will be a very interesting matchup on Friday. Because Team Spirit are not as good as Team Liquid. And we saw what Dignitas did against Team Spirit. Now, for what it's worth, Team Spirit looked really good. Like, they look really, really good. They're just not given whatever opportunities that they should be. Like, they should have been in Pro League. And they're getting their chance here in Blast. It's extra salt, so no pun intended, but we take this result with a grain of salt. Haha. It's a team they should have beat. They should have beat them handily. They did beat them handily. Like, let's get into this winning lineup. Captain Hobbit with Nafane. So again, captain with at least one player from the same team. So not a surprise, right? You had Vinny
mm,
as the one run back, and then you had Mir, SDY, and Chopper. Mir was someone I was high on. I never ended up getting to him in my lineups, pretty much just due to price. My lineup, I wanted to force Shiro in there. I wanted Shiro, I wanted Hobbit, I wanted Nafane. And it's not like Shiro scored terribly. Captain Hobbit's what won it. 158.25 DK points. I'll show you mine like in comparison if we just go view here head to head. Mine's on the left and the winning lineup's on the right. I decided to go with Captain Chopper so I could get 3 Gambit because of the 2 games, my approach was very simple. 3 Team Spirit or 2 Team Spirit, 3 Gambit or 2 Gambit. Those are the cores. That's who you focus on. Have a run back with someone on Fury or MIBR. The run back could have been Cello if you could have got there. Could have been Vinny was clearly the one in the winning lineup, but Vinny, it's not like his stats were blown out of the water. Cello, I think, ended up having a little bit better stats than he did. It could have been Junior. Junior was cheap. Except my lineup had Magisk.
sorry, how much was Vinny? I can't see. Is it 6,400?
$6,400.
Okay. Yeah, because
Junior
Magic's was
was
7,000.
cheaper.
Crazy.
But I wanted Shiro. Shiro had 88.5 DK points. He outscored Mir. So, from my logic on the lap is I wanted the dominant player. Here's Shiro's stat line on why I wanted to shove him in 45, 5, and 19 with a 4K. There's a reason I wanted to shove him in my lineup.
Yep. Expensive.
Hobbit too. Hobbit outscored him. Hobbit was 48, 11, and 22. Here are the bonuses. Well, I'm not counting the first kills. Shiro had 6 first kills. Hobbit had 5 first kills. You ready? Here are the bonuses. A 1v3 clutch. 2 4Ks, and an ace. That gets you those bonus points add up. That's why
Where's
Hobbit
this?
ended up being the optimal captain.
Yeah, no, he was putting on a show on the eco rounds too, just so you, if that makes you feel any better, because he was just cleaning up in the pistol rounds and the eco rounds. So
Yeah. But, there's nothing surprising here. It was the same kind of lineup construction that I thought. I just ended up on 3 Gambit and 2 Spirit. Winning lineup had 2 Gambit, 3 Spirit. Not a big deal. So,
yeah.
you know what? 498.25 points. The winning lineup at 526.75. I'm not complaining.
You must have cashed on this one too, I
I
would
did. I
imagine.
doubled up.
Nice.
I'm not complaining. But again, this slate was going to be so chalky, you had to figure out where to get different. And Captain Hobbit, and you added in Mir, SDY, and Chopper, that combo. No Dexter, no Magics. I think if we go back to the contest here,
It sure
and I
went
go,
crazy
and I
too,
go
which is
back to mine. So Magics was 25.3%. My guess is him and Chopper were rather chalky together because that freed up a lot of get to the Gambit guys.
mm,
So it happens, it goes, it works. All right, Dan.
let's go.
Anything else you want to talk about with the winning lineup?
No, I mean, yeah, you had to pick the. I mean, no, let's go. I got nothing left.
Well, I hope you guys save a little something. Maybe get a pillow out, get a blanket, folks. Maybe get ready to take a nap. This is going to be arguably the quickest analysis Dan and I probably have ever done on this podcast so far. 2-game slate. Saw versus Heroic and Team Vitality versus 9Z. Play Heroic. Play Team Vitality. Bye, everybody. No, so let's get into it. Saw versus Heroic is the first game here on this 2-game slate. There are going to be 2-game slates going out until Sunday. 2-game slate Thursday, 2-game slate Friday, 2-game slate Saturday, 2-game slate Sunday. That's how this is going to go. So just be aware we're going
Okay.
back to it. We're going back to a 2-game format for a while. DreamHack starts next week. I think should have more games in line for that. Dan and I can quickly go over at the end of the podcast. It's not like we're not going to have time. I want to point one thing out to everyone. If you are watching this on YouTube rather than just listening to it, all 5 members of Team Vitality and all 5 members of Heroic are more expensive than the highest priced player from either Saw or 9Z. Just put that in perspective. Draftkings was not giving up an inch. The highest priced player after the lowest price Vitality or Heroic, Team Vitality or Heroic player is Try from 9Z. And Stododo is 6,000. He's the second highest priced player from the opposing teams. I'm going to pull up the odds here on Pinnacle, Dan. Why don't you go ahead and talk to us about Saw versus Heroic?
Um, well, I mean, it's gonna be a bloodbath unless there's a serious, unless there's a serious hangover from the win, which I really don't think. I think they're gonna keep it rolling. Yeah, I mean, I like as for like a bring back, maybe just he's done well. Even
Let me
in
let me pull him up before we get into the stats. So, I am here on hltv.org, and over the last month of play, so Saw have been active. They've played 24 maps. So for this instance, I want to pull just stats when he joined this team, and he is the highest fragger on Saw since he joined. Because if I go over the last 3 months, I'm sorry, Jess has been here. Who's the new player? Oh, I'm sorry, RMN's the new player. So let's just go over the last 3 months of play. Justice plus 121 with the 1.08 kill to death ratio. If I go over the last month of play, oh, and by the way, keep this in mind, Stadodo's plus 119 with a 1.07 kill to death ratio. I'm just going to go to the last month of play, 24 maps. Justice plus 77 with the 1.18 kill to death ratio. Stadodo's plus 17 with the 1.04 kill to death ratio. Good
And he's
call on
cheap.
Just. Good call on
Thank you.
Just. Because I
I,
was
I,
just going to go Stadodo because I know he's the known quantity. I still thought he was the ace for this team. Just has been playing better. Now, it doesn't mean Stadodo can't go off. It's heroic. They just upset the number one team in the world with that amazing 1v4 clutch. I kind of want to watch it again. Not like I haven't watched it over half a dozen times already.
I think I watch it like at least 5 times a day now because
It's
it's actually I saw it on LinkedIn. It showed up on my LinkedIn feed, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll watch it here too.
it's an amazing clutch. That is good. If he doesn't have any better plays than that, that is the play of his career.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, if you put it in context, like it's got to be. I mean, yeah, hands down the best play ever.
It's crazy. So Dan and I got to take a little bit more time talking about this game because I think this is the key to the slate. Is who from SAR are you playing against Heroic? Let's not get cute. And I want to encourage people, and Dan, I think you'd agree with me on this. Don't go heavy on your bankroll tomorrow. Play
Yeah,
low volume.
yeah.
There
Yeah, I mean, if you get
is
away with a
there.
win, then
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say if you get away with a win, or even if you don't even lose anything, you'd probably be lucky or fortunate.
This is gonna be quick games to watch. This is gonna be quick games to that they're gonna be done. Like it will be done with Counter Strike by noon or whenever the second game goes off. It goes off at 11:45. We'll be done by 1, maybe 1:30. Because the second game is Team Vitality versus 9Z.
Well, they might move up the second game. I think they did that today with
Yeah,
the Fury.
we could be done by noon. I can
I
see
think so.
Saw taking this 3 though. Saw ain't bad.
Uh, yeah. I mean,
They
if
they're not bad. They've
no,
they've made it here. They're not bad. All right, so are you ready? So SAR is a plus 412 underdog. Heroic are a minus 565 favorite. Are you ready for the second game?
I can see it.
Arguably the biggest lopside on the I've seen yet. Team Vitality is a minus 3,084 favorite. You think?
Yeah.
I'm not insulting 9Z, but come on.
Come
They're,
on, man.
I don't even think they're a tier 2 team. I think they're like tier 3 or 4. But hey, congrats. Listen, they got to the stage. If they can make some noise, that's only better for them. I just don't think they win. And I think Vitality just trounce them.
Oh, oh no, no, no. Yeah, don't even put those words together.
I'm
They're not
trying to
gonna.
be objective, Dan.
There's no way.
We're less than 20 minutes in. There isn't much left to talk about. Again, all 5 members of Heroic are more expensive than the highest priced player on Saw. With that being said, let me go over pricing for you, Dan. Cadian is 10,400. Stown is 9,600. Testis is 8,400. Shush is 7,400. Refresh is 6,600. Your boy Just is 5,200.
He's the most. Oh, he's after Sudodo too, that's good.
Stadodo is 6,000. I think one of the most interesting pieces that could be chalked tomorrow is Muterus at $4,400.
Yeah,
If they look at these things, so like here's I left this open. Here's Armament stats over the last 3 months of play. He's got a he's got a .97 kill to death ratio, 71.4 ADR. I believe he's a rifler. Yep, he's a rifler. So I believe Muterus is the opper, or Stadodo's the
yes.
opper.
I think it's Muterus, but
Here's
I
the
could be wrong.
last month of play. Our men, over 24 maps played, with Saw, Has a 1.11 kill to death ratio with an ADR of 78.8, a KPR of 0.73, an impact rating of 1.14, and a total overall rating of 1.12.
Not bad.
He's 4,200, and I believe the cheapest. No, the second cheapest player here on the slate.
I mean, I would definitely pivot to that if I needed to. Like, if I really, really wanted to
If
get.
you wanted to shove in a Zyro and a Katie and you're playing either Mutirus or RMN,
Hmm,
in my opinion, again, I'm going 3-2-1. It's either 3 heroic or 2 heroic, 3 vitality or 2 vitality. I'm not getting cute. The only run back I'm going to have on this slate is Saw.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're going to get to Team Vitality and 9Z in a second. That game's going to take all of a minute. So Dan and I are spending just a little bit more time on the game that I think is going to matter, and that we think is going to matter for the slate. And again, I'm sorry, no disrespect to Team 9Z. It's Team Vitality. This is a former world #1. With this core, by the way. In RPK's last event with the team. We'll get there in a second.
They're gonna put in. They're gonna put in their all for sure. Yeah. All right.
So, I assume everyone on Heroic are in play for you.
Um. Yep. Definitely.
Who's your favorite play from Heroic? Include
Uh.
when you factor in pricing, because we have to factor in pricing on the slate. Exactly.
Probably. I'm gonna go with Stown, and I don't know if I'm allowed to factor in expected ownership or not, but I think he might not be high owned because Cadian's the one making the noise. Tessus is a little bit cheaper than Stown. And
It,
everybody knows Tessus is good, and then Shush and Refresh could make other things work, so that's why I like Stown.
Shush is my favorite play on Heroic on this slate when you factor in price.
Okay.
He's my
Yeah,
favorite captain play on the slate.
certainly not a bad play. I mean, I don't.
Now,
Yeah,
again, take this into context, Dan. Shush is a support player for Heroic. And I'm saying that. That's how bad pricing is on this slate. Because we can't play everyone we want to play. So, we have a friend of ours in the main event Discord, Nevin here, and we'll use one of his other names, or it's shh. In hey, we did that almost the same time. So it's shh in the main event Discord, or the main event DFS Discord, and I don't want to misquote him, so let me pull it up here on the other screen. But I believe he said something to the effect of, okay, there are 5 possible 3-3s, aren't there? So, and that's quote unquote. So I believe there's only 5, according to Nevin, or Shush. Shush? No, that's heroic player. Shush. Because of how bad pricing is on this slate, and again, why Dan and I are advocating don't go crazy on your bankrolls. There aren't that many 3-3s out there. I was heading into this going 3 heroic, 3 vitality, move on. Pricing is not going to allow you to get many combos of that because of how heavily priced some of these other players are. I mean, when we get to the next game, Apex is over $8,000. If you're laughing, it's okay. He's $2,000 to $3,000 too expensive. But because of pricing, can you, Dan? If I were to tell you on a normal slate, like if we were to take, I'm just gonna say Apex is $5,800, right? If he was $5,800 on this slate, he's more than 80% owned. He's probably 40% plus on the captain spot. Would you agree with that?
yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So we need to figure out a way to get different. So we showed you the stats for Dan and I moved off Stadoto to just pre-show because of what Dan was saying about the stats. Just as my favorite run back, Dan, I assume is your favorite run back.
Hmm.
I'd be curious to see what his ownership is. Because again, if you're not looking at the stats and you just think of what you know from when you play Star with DFS, you play Stadoto and you play Muterus. Right?
Hmm.
We're playing just. Dan and I are
And
telling you, if we're having a Saw run back, It's most likely going to be just as of this podcast recording.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add to this game? I'm literally running out of things to say other than
Yeah,
how
I
much
don't
can we
know.
play heroic.
Yeah, yeah.
I have nothing else to say about this game. Like, do we want to start breaking down favorite colors of these teams?
No, that only works with Astralis. Um,
Oh
yeah,
boy.
let's not try too hard. I mean, maybe for GPP purposes, you'd want to do a full on
It,
saw
yeah,
entry,
it,
stack saw or something. But
if you are MMEing and you really want to get ballsy, 2 to 3 saw with 1 heroic run back. If you're doing that and you can make Katie in your run back, I think that's the way to go.
yeah,
So my favorite saw, it's just Stododo, Muterus, and RMN. Just because it's still an opper, and like we kind of saw a little bit with who was Gambit? Oh, Nazar. Gambit was playing against on Dust 2 today. Gambit gave them no respect, none. They were just
none.
playing so carefree. Well, they started taking advantage of it until Gambit went, okay, turn the switch, let's get this over with, and then they just ran right through them. Gambit, by the way, are the best Vertigo team in the world. I thought they were going to go 16-0.
Hmm.
They just look flawless on that map. So, anyone you're playing against Gambit, you ban Vertigo, and you make them play another map. um. Anyway, with that being said, I got nothing else to say. Anything else you want to say in this game?
Uh,
No.
it's kind of a lame podcast, Adam.
Listen, when you have two heavy favorites, how else do you want us to spruce this up? All right. Nothing else. Next game.
Next game, definitely.
Last game on the slate. Team Vitality versus 9Z. No, Navarra is no longer on this team. Don't play Navarra. Play all Team Vitality. Fade 9Z. Dan, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if you mentioned the RPK narrative, but I'm gonna be hitting
Dan,
that
tell
pretty
us about
hard.
the RPK narrative. We
so, so he's being let go or benched or whatever at the end of this tournament, and whether or not whatever the reasons were for him still playing, I don't really care because I had this theory that when a player's on their way out, that either the rest of the team or maybe the coach tried to make him look good, and that is because they can sell these players, right? I mean, if I don't, or maybe not him, but
You're not selling
um,
the players. This isn't slavery. You're buying out the contracts.
I got the god, yeah,
or
no, it's like
or
it's
whatever
like
the
soccer.
actual terminology is. But no, like if these players are signed to contracts, and I'm assuming just by how much you have to move around, there's probably some sort of buyout clause, and the player gets probably a chunk of their money. I don't know how the contracts work. I'd love to be able to see what a player contract would be and like some of the language that would be negotiated. But no, like we talked about this at the on our day one blast event here on the podcast just a couple days ago. We talked about the RPK news, and they've already signed his replacement in Kyojin
Mm-hmm.
to be the anchor
You know why it's Kyojin?
because it's going to be the anchor.
No, no. Oh, yeah, yeah. That definitely is a better fit. But they don't. I don't think they typically will. I mean, they have to. They speak French like when they're playing, so they
Correct.
look for French speaking people
And
or players.
if you listened to the joking like commentary in the podcast today, man, Scrawny and Londo's are so funny and so entertaining.
They're
During the
dry too.
huh?
They're like really good dry humor.
Yeah. I watch Scrawny streams from time to time. He's a super cool dude. Um, but like I think it was those two where someone made mention of maybe it was someone on the analyst desk, but they made mention of Junior coming into Furia and disrupting the not being, the full Portuguese speaking play. Again, to some of these teams, it's easier to talk in your native language, and that's totally okay.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So I mean, so Junior is not only integrating into Furia and their very different play style, but Furia got to now start talking to each other in English. Otherwise, Junior's not going to know what's going on unless Junior understands
Yeah.
Portuguese. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sitting there I don't have Junior's number hitting him up like, hey Junior, you understand Portuguese or not? Do you understand what your teammates are saying? Like I
Find
have
out.
no idea. I don't know him, but I think they had to make the move to English. That could be a little bit of a disruption because team communication is huge.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah. I
I
mean, it's
have nothing else to say
extremely.
on this game.
No, let's go.
You play all 5 members of Vitality. They're all in play. Just know that Zybu's 10,800, Shox is 10,000. So again, on a normal slate, and we'll take it into context here, Shox is $2,000 overpriced. Apex is $2,000 to $3,000 overpriced. Masuda's $1,000 to $2,000 overpriced. And RPK is about $1,000 overpriced. It's not like DraftKings probably sitting there going, if we keep these guys where they should be, we're going to have 80+% on guys. That's not going to be fun for anybody. So this makes you think of really prioritizing what players you want. They're all in play. I'm not ranking them. They're all in play. This is not a tier 1 team. This is not a tier 2 team. I don't know if you call 9Z a tier 3 team. eStore is the only one that if you've been playing Counter-Strike DFS since the pandemic started, last year in 2020, that name should look familiar to you. He was originally part of Movie Star Riders. He was let go from Movie Star Riders. Just saying.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
Poor guys. They're just gonna get absolutely. It's just like Nazar today. Like they're just gonna get absolutely wrecked.
If you're playing one person from 9Z, I'd take a shot on Max. Or try. Those are my
Try.
two
Have you seen? Have
favorites.
you seen Try's haircut? He's got like he totally looks like a um preteen metal guy.
That hair?
Nerd. Yeah. Look at with the glasses. Like I mean, how could you not play Try? Look at that guy.
I mean, Try has the best stats of anyone on this team
Well, then there's that. So it's
over the last 3
it's
months of play for what it's worth. But plus 93, I mean, I'm just. No thanks. I just don't want. No.
I am going to say one thing though. Maybe you do have to play one from. I mean, if you want to get any of the dudes, you might have to play one from 9Z and one from Saw. But I
I'm
mean,
not going with a 2-1-2-1 construction. I don't want to get cute. And again, I'm not playing much volume on this slate at all. I'm playing one lineup and that's it.
oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, that should be emphasized all day long. That this is not
Yeah. Now listen.
this is a just for fun type of slate.
Yeah. I mean, there is Team Vitality is a 3,000 favorite. Come on. Friday, we're gonna have a good podcast to talk about. And I apologize. We've been talking for 33 minutes. I hope we've been entertaining.
I doubt it.
Because
Really
there's
do.
really not been much to talk about. We are literally trying to come up with any which way to make an argument to play some of these underdogs. Friday, we're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. OG versus G2, Dignitas versus Team Spirit. Oh, we're going to have some fun to talk about on that slate. That's a wide open slate.
That it is. That it is.
And with that being said, Dan, we're going to do this podcast a little bit differently because it's just favorites that we're really focused on. If you were to give me one core play, one GPP play, team stacks are obvious. It's heroic and vitality, and I give me a bold prediction if you can find one.
Um, bold prediction. I'll just start off with that. That's that Saw wins. Um, Actually, you know what? I mean, probably even more bold would be that 9Z wins, just
If you think
because
9Z wins, get to a casino or someone like a DraftKings Sportsbook, and if you can put money on 9Z, you can put $1 on 9Z at a plus, what is it, a 1,500 favorite or underdog? Like, I, I,
what's that one? Does that pay 150 to 1 maybe, or
I
is
have
it? I
no
doubt
idea.
it can't be 1,500 to 1 because
What are the
that would
odds?
just.
The money line is 9Z plus 1555.
Oh my, that's insane.
I'll take plus 1555 if I think 9Z can win 5 rounds on any map versus Team Vitality. Is that too much disrespect?
Uh, no, I don't think so.
I mean, Team Vitality should crush. But with that being
Yeah,
said, who's your favorite? Who's your core play on the slate?
Core's RPK value is going to
No
be
value. No value on the
no
slate.
value.
Nope. Just
Oh,
give me a core play and give me a GPP play.
it's down for GPP.
Core play for me is Shush. Um, GPP play, Cadian, because I'm not sure if you can get to him. And obviously, if you can afford Zyro, you get Zyro. My bold prediction, Captain Shush wins a GPP. Like I said, I am very bullish on Shush on this slate. I do not have anything else to say.
Have a good night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the CSGO Clutch podcast. You can follow Dan on Twitter at Wandelch. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamWX21. We have some fantastic announcements in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. We'll tell you more about those as the time comes. Latest, peoples.